It's a well-established fact that I have a magpie brain. I love a good shiny lil knick-knack, thingamabob, chachi, or bauble. And what better place to find said baubles than at a Ren Faire? So when I heard about trinket trading at Ren Fairs, I was like, sign me up. So for the uninitiated, what exactly is trinket trading? It is fairly self-explanatory. You bring tiny little trinkets to a Ren Faire, and you gift or trade them with other people at said Ren Faire. Now, it's not a thing at every Ren Faire, and definitely not a required activity, and only some people participate. So I know my fellow socially awkward introverts are probably going, wait, that means I have to go up to and talk to total strangers? Ah! So how do you know who is trading trinkets? Some people bring trinkets purely with the mindset of giving them away, and so might not be identifiable. They'll just give out little favors to people who have cool costumes or meaningful conversation, or just random folks who look like they would enjoy a trinket. But for the folks who want to trade, there are some ways to tell who is trading. Some fairs in the States use an orange ribbon as the signal, and you can wear it in any way you choose as long as it's an obviously placed ribbon and not just a random coincidence. The other popular option, and one that's most common in Ontario, is this rune. I've seen people wear it as a brooch, a button, an accent on their hat, attached to a wizard staff, and more. I tend to go pretty basic with a cardstock piece that I attach to my costume, but the sky's the limit with how you want to display it. The nice thing about making it removable is that if you run out of trinkets or you just need a little break, you can take it off and blend in with the crowd. Now, there are the occasional people who will use an entirely different way of broadcasting their participation. I've seen a couple costumes where they wrote it on a sign, trinket trading, or ask me about my trinkets. So if you see an orange ribbon, this rune, or anything else obvious, you know for certain here there be trinkets to be traded. And honestly, I kind of leave it to the extroverted traders to approach me, but either way, it's gonna be a friendly, excited interaction. Hey, random person, are you trinket trading? Why, yes I am. Yay! The first fair I traded at, it instantly added an extra layer of immersion in the fair vibes. And I've seen trinket trades end up like moths to a flame with like 8 to 10 people just going swap, 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 and it was a hoot. But I think I slightly prefer the one-on-one interactions. A crazy gathering is fun, but individual trades feel just that much more immersive. So what makes a trinket a trinket? When you're deciding what your trinket is going to be, how do you know it's a good fit? Other than making sure it follows the rules of the particular fair you're attending, the main thing to remember is that it should feel like it was a token from the Fae folk. They should be small, not expensive, and relatively immersive. Some people go for general fantasy/medieval vibes, while others go for trinkets that tie directly into their characters or personas. I got these glow-in-the-dark stones from, I think they were like cave or jewel-themed wizardy folk, and this lovely little packet of wildflower seeds was from a forest fairy dryad type character. So if you're going for hobbity or foresty vibes, your trinket could be something like little toadstools or funky pebbles or acorns. If you're doing a warrior type character, you could buy little sword charms, or a wizard could have little potion bottles. A wealthy noble or a pirate could bring something like shiny fake coins, gemstones, or little DIY charms. The only limit is your imagination and your wallet. Important note, these are not supposed to be high-end. They shouldn't be anything that could get mistaken for vendor merch. Think fairy left it on a tree stump, or gift from the borrowers, or those pictures online of things my local crows left me. Little bitty and cute. To give you an idea of where to start, let's look at my growing collection of trinkets. We have a skull potion. A lovely glittery potion. A few little pebbly jars. These were just so cute. Freaked me out a little bit. that night because I woke up and was like, what are these things glowing in the corner of my bedroom? Oh yes, I have glowing trinkets. As I mentioned, I got wildflower seeds, a cute little bracelet from a vendor that was also Trinket Trading, some various coinage, beautiful, funky coins. Definitely belongs in a treasure chest. We have a dangly pearl charm that is just so pretty. A shiny stone. A key. The cutest little teeny tiny sword. A little jewelry gemstone. A teeny tiny bone. And I keep them in my little treasure chest that is also filled with various shiny stones that I have accumulated over the years because, as I said, I have a magpie brain. So hopefully that gives you a good place to start for ideas, and there are loads of pictures online as well if you need more inspiration. You can check out Pinterest, Instagram, or r/Ren Faire on Reddit for a bunch of hauls and people sharing what they're bringing. Now, we want to make sure that everyone at a Ren Faire has an awesome time, and sometimes to do so there are guidelines to be followed. So let's dive into rules and etiquette around trinket trading. Does that make it trinket etiquette? Because trinket trading is a relatively new activity and most fairs are run by different organizers, there are very few universal rules. So before you go, make sure you check your individual fair's guidelines on trading because they do vary from fair to fair. Some fairs have guidelines on what kind of trinkets can be traded, both for personal safety and to protect the vendors. Some fairs say no trinkets made of glass, including little bottles, which, fair, I can understand it. Some fairs have a blanket rule of no jewelry, both to avoid confusion and competition from vendors. Food and candy is pretty much a universal no-no, both for potential mess and safety issues. You know, accepting edible items from total strangers and all that. If there's a child present, whether you're trading trinkets or gifting favors, ask permission from their parent or guardian before handing it out. Most families attending Ren Fairs are pretty cool with it, but you never know. Always better to be on the safe side. In terms of trading etiquette, most of the written and unwritten rules fall under the umbrella of don't be a jerk, use common sense, and don't be rude, but there are some finer points that apparently actually need to be reiterated, and yes, I am reiterating these points because they have all happened to actual people at actual Ren Fairs. Don't trade inside a vendor's stall. The vendors at Ren Fairs are there to make money. It is a business opportunity for them. Yes, they're there to have a fun time and enjoy the fantasy, but their priority is their business. If you're trading inside their stall, their store, you're potentially taking money away from them. Don't do that. Likewise, as I implied when talking about what kinds of trinkets are a good idea, don't make your trinket anything that can be mistaken for vendor merch. If it's expensive enough that it could be sold at a vendor stall, it's too expensive to be a trinket. Also, don't use trinket trading as self-promotion. No marketing opportunities, no business cards attached to trinkets, and no samples. This is supposed to be good, clean, fun. This is not a trinket that I received, by the way. This is a sample from my favorite local soap vendor, and I love that she has these available as a way to try a new scent before committing to a whole bar, but okay, I digress. As a vendor with a stall, samples, totally awesome. Love the idea. Using them as trinkets, not so much. Don't disrupt the fair. There is a saying that one bad apple spoils the whole barrel, and there are some fairs in the States that are actually outright banning trinket trading because of those bad apples. There have been people who interrupted attendees mid-sale in vendor stalls to trade trinkets, people who have impersonated actual cast members, and the most notorious example was someone who gave out treasure map trinkets, mostly to kids, promising a treasure at the end of their search, which led to the ATMs. The fair then had to deal with justifiably upset kids and parents, so the following year they said, nope, no trinket trading at all. So don't make your trinkets some elaborate hunt or do anything that would make life more difficult for the staff and volunteers at the fair. Lastly, and I genuinely can't believe that this needs to be said, but trinkets are not currency. This is not legal tender. This is not legal tender. This is not money. Trinkets, as cute as they are, have no monetary value and should in no way be treated like they do. That means don't try to barter with vendors using trinkets, and don't tip the performers with trinkets. It's sad that we need to spell out what should be common sense, but apparently we do. So what kind of trinket would the halfling seamstress bring to a Ren Faire? I'd love to say that I have some kind of intricate sewing themed trinkets, but I don't. Last year I did go a little extra and made these bottles of pirate gold. In hindsight, dragon gold would have been a bit more lore accurate, but either way, it was a big hit. And it was pretty simple to make. I found these little bottles at a dollar store, as well as imitation gold flake. I filled them up and put a dab of hot glue on the cork to keep them from coming open. Then I carefully wrote out the label and tore it instead of cutting it out. For a little extra flair, you could do one of two things. If you're careful and super extra, you can singe the edges to give a weathered, burnt look, or you can use a brown ink pad and dab it on. It looks almost the same, and for something this small, it's frankly easier. For this year, I'm dialing back a little bit, but still being cool. I was at a wholesale gem sale and picked up an entire pound of tumbled tiger eye stones for less than $15. So these are my trinkets. And I am low-key looking forward to trading with people and being able to go, behold, I give you the eye of the tiger. It's silly, but I love it. So if you are still on the fence about trinket trading, I highly encourage you to give it a try. It's fun, it's inexpensive, and adds another fun activity and way to meet people at a Ren Faire. If you're already a seasoned trinket trader, I encourage you to share in the comments what kind of trinkets you like to trade, and also what is the favorite trinket that you've ever received. And if you ever see me at a Ren Faire with my little trading button on, please come up and say hi. I would love to trade a trinket with you. Actually, even if I don't have this on, still come up and say hi. I love making Ren Faire friends. I am going to get back to sewing now, and I will see you all soon for more geekery meets history sewing adventures. I filled them up. Did I trade that one or buy that one? I can't remember. Magpie brain. Wow. And if you ever see me at a Ren Faire,